So I got into a Facebook argument with someone recently, and I know it sounds like a big waste of time, which sometimes it is, but surprisingly, I actually learned some very useful information from this Facebook argument with this person. So we were talking about ICE and how really all of the things that ICE have been doing right now, I don't see how you can legally classify them as deportations, because I think deportations require due process. And we have constitutional amendments like the Fifth Amendment and the 14th Amendment, which are supposed to protect and grant speedy and fair trials to anybody in our country, regardless of whether they are a citizen or not. But this lady, she brought up something that I actually didn't know, and she was correct. She basically explained to me that in 1996, Bill Clinton passed an immigration bill. And I spoke to a friend of mine that he is from New Zealand, and interestingly, he sometimes knows more about American history and more American politics than I do. And I was telling him about this. I was like, have you heard of this Immigration Act that Bill Clinton passed? Basically, what this Immigration Act said, what it says, because it's still in place, is that under certain circumstances, the government can expedite deportations and deprive someone being deported from the U.S. of a trial. Now, this bill does allow for appeals. So if you're being deported, you can appeal the government and basically be like, hey, I think I deserve a trial. And so there is due process there. However, the bill is vague enough to be easily exploited by dictators, by people like Trump. Basically, Trump is forcing these people into detention centers or out of the country so rapidly that these people don't have time or resources to file an appeal. A lot of them are not being allowed to speak to lawyers. So how the hell are they going to file an appeal, even if Bill Clinton's bill says that you're allowed to file an appeal and that there is some due process? So this lady in the comments was trying to say, but see, Bill Clinton did this. And I was like, well, first of all, I already fucking hated Bill Clinton because we all know now that he's on the Epstein list. Second of all, I've been highly critical of the Democratic Party for a long time. So this isn't a gotcha moment, honey. This is literally just telling me that Bill Clinton is also a piece of shit. And so when I was talking to my friend from New Zealand, his YouTuber name is Demotivator Opinion. He's got a really great channel. He's really funny, really smart. I was asking him, I was like, why do you think Bill Clinton would even pass a bill like this? Like, this seems very not on brand for like what we think of as democratic policy today. And he explained to me that at the time, I guess there was like a surge of crime in the USA, or at least there was a perceived surge of crime. I don't know how accurate that is, but in response, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, they were getting like lambasted by Republicans and told that, like, you know, you're soft pussy Democrats, you're not going to handle these criminals. And so they passed this immigration bill as a way of trying to show that they were tough and that they could deal with criminals in the USA. Basically, they were trying to appease their conservative constituents and their Republican colleagues. And that's why this bill was passed. And so this is something that Democrats have a long history of doing, where they're wimpy, appeasing pansies, and they pass these awful policies that later on enable more fascist-minded politicians to come in and use these bills to do terrible things. And that's exactly what's happening now. with Trump. He is absolutely exploiting this bill that Bill Clinton passed. And for anybody who's going to say, like, oh, Bill Clinton could have never foreseen this, and he didn't mean for it to, be this this severe. And it's like, that's a politician's whole fucking job. I'm sorry, but it is. You, as a politician, when you are signing a bill or advocating for a bill, you need to be aware of the possible repercussions and the ways that any new law could be used to harm people, to do horrible things. It is their fucking job to speak with like constitutional lawyers and human rights groups and to figure out whether controversial bills like this are harmful. And this bill clearly was harmful. That was Bill Clinton's fucking job. Now, Bill Clinton, the Clintons, obviously, they're not the ones who are abducting immigrants en masse right now. And so that absolutely falls on the Trump administration. But if you hear people saying the Democrats paved the way for what is happening right now, they are 100% fucking correct. The Democrats, for decades, have been fucking Weenie Hut Juniors, SpongeBob reference for those who watched Nickelodeon in the 90s and the 2000s. Absolute Weenie Hut Juniors. No backbone. And I don't know if y'all remember, but didn't Obama write a book a couple years ago? And he admitted in the book that the reason he started using so much drone warfare was because he wanted to impress Republicans. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Then this is precisely what Bill Clinton did. This is what he was doing, I believe, when he passed this 1996 immigration law. This immigration law should have been struck down as unconstitutional decades ago. If you are trying to use the fact that Bill Clinton passed this as a gotcha to me personally, I fucking hate the Democrats too. It's not a gotcha on me. It's literally just an indictment of our shitty two-party system. Yeah, I'm fucking pissed. I'm pissed. And people need to be talking about this now, and we need to hold, obviously we need to hold the Trump administration accountable. But the Democrats need to be held accountable too. Nobody is talking about this. Myself and my friend Demotivator Opinion are some of the only fucking people I know who are talking about this right now. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great day, and spread the word. Look up the bill for yourself, 1996 immigration bill passed by Bill Clinton. Read up on it. It's very disappointing. I cannot believe that this was not struck down as unconstitutional decades ago. Anyway, that's all I have for you today, and shout out to the fucking giant zit that I have right here. I haven't been doing my skincare correctly, but that's all right. And shout out to Demotivator Opinion. He's my bro. He's really cool. You should definitely check out his channel on YouTube. I don't think he has a TikTok, but anyway, that's all. Bye-bye.